Okay, so today I talk about how to draw perspective in space. So, and it's a very convenient to also explain perspective in more deep level, kind of, because there are some questions like, what is perspective? Like, is this real? And yeah, it's not kind of real. Perspective is subjective. And this like main thing about drawing perspective in space, perspective underwater, perspective like in the dreams or whatever. So basically perspective is like, if we take, let's say, this is your head. And you have like funny haircut and glasses. So actually, when you see perspective, when you like you see this horizon lines, vanishing points, all the stuff is not exist around you. It's kind of exists on your uh, visual sphere. So it's like if it's in kind of in between your eyes, somewhere kind of in this, it will be center of the sphere. And like when you look in the front, or like right in front of your face, in front of your eyes, it's kind of like we have this line of sight, like direction of where you look at. So this it's usually refers to z vanishing point. So when we have like this 3D system, we have three axes: y-axis for vertical lines, z-axis for depth, and x-axis for width, right? So this your direction of your sight. It's where will be like a z vanishing point. This z vanishing point lies on this belt, which is your eye level. This belt, let's say where to write, eye level. And this we perceive as horizon line. So if we make like directly opposite, like if this front direction of your look, kind of right, opposite of this, like in your forehead, this will be like also the vanishing point, but behind. So it's like in a 360-degree perspective, 6-point perspective. We have this z vanishing point in front and z vanishing point in the back. So, and then like relative to this axis, you see this kind of line, right? Front and back. In a perpendicularly. So if this like z here, z on the back, in the middle gets through this with a 90-degree angle perpendicular line. So we have on the right, we have x vanishing point on the right, and we have x vanishing point on the left. X, x. So, and what remains, it's a vertical axis, right? So if like right above your center, the center of this visual perception sphere will be y vanishing point. This y vanishing point on the top call zenith, and y vanishing point on the bottom calls nadir. Nadir. So we can make also here this like a vertical belt. So this kind of like how we see, how we perceive visually world around us. We perceive it like this 360 sphere, and then we have all types of perspective based on this sphere. So when we talk about one point perspective, it just means we have like small area somewhere here. So in this small area, lines, it's like they almost not because this area is so small, so we even cannot notice curvature. We don't see this kind of property of sphere. It just appears like y-axis appears just like parallel vertical lines, x-axis appears like horizontal parallel lines, and z-axis will be just convergent to z vanishing point. It's because this area, no matter how you scale it on your screen, according to your field of perception, your sphere of perception, it's kind of very small, maybe even smaller. So it's like, it's kind of like long lens kind of perspective, long. And then, like, if we start to take bigger area from visual sphere, we start to notice curvature. We start to see it's like, oh, look, like vertical axis start to curve like in a sphere, and the horizontal x-axis start to curve like in a sphere. So what happened? It happens like in our frame of kind of this visual frame. If before this x and y vanishing points, they so far from each other, like this top and bottom, they so far from each other, so we don't see any convergence. But here we start to put them closer to each other, right? So we start to see how this axis convergent. We start to see this, like how they going into one point, right? And this happens it's not because we're like put together these vanishing points. We're not squeezing it. Actually, we just taken bigger area from a sphere. So it's like you need to understand, like mechanic of it. I also have tutorial about different types of perspective, about camera angles. I also explain this there. So you see, by like taking more bigger and bigger area of this sphere, we will have like more complex perspective type. So eventually we can go to kind of like 5-point perspective. So what this mean? It means we already have within picture frame, we have this x and y, right? So we can draw this like 5-point perspective. It will be as like we put inside visual frame, inside our camera view kind of, we put whole hemisphere, like half of our 360 field of view, this front half. So we have 5 points z, we have top y, bottom y, left x, and right x. So it's like 5-point perspective because we take front half of a sphere of our vision perception, visual perception. So, and when we take all of this, like if you want to draw all of this, so this will be 6-point perspective, and it will be like this famous Escher. I hope I write it proper. Escher sphere, like this, reflecting sphere illustration. I also did tutorial about this, how to draw reflecting sphere. So here we see not only these 5 points, but we also see back, kind of what is on the back of an observer. So kind of see everything, like totally 360 view. So this is perspective. Is not exist outside of your head. It is in your head. It's like your screen. It's like your 360 screen, which you can like open and kind of flatten, put it on a paper or in a like flat screen like we have on a computer. But that's it. It's like our brain, he creating projection of reality around us, project of this information around us, which is outside kind of the sphere, right? He create projection on this sphere so we can perceive it kind of like this, like if we're watching like, like on the television. And one more interesting moment here. It's a sphere as a perception, right? But there is another also aspect of this kind of perception, what we have of real world. It's like we always have this sphere with us, like you close your eyes, it will be there anyway. You kind of have this feeling of space, kind of, right? This is your uh, idea and perception of world around you. And same will happen like it's also we have this concept, like fundamental idea of space as a box or cube, whatever. So what is mean? It's mean like we always have like a ceiling. We have this up area. So something like above, we have something below, like this space below. We have space on the left, like area, right? So we have this idea and perception. So we can say like, oh, left side of my head, right side of my head, or I can say like area on the left of me, or like surface, or is some kind of plane, right? And this can be room, or you can be in an open space somewhere in a field. You still will have this box as an idea in your head. So same, it's like this stuff is not kind of exist in reality on its own. It's just because we kind of have it in our heads. And it's kind of like of course, like a chicken and egg. What was first? It's like reality is like this, so we perceive it this way, or we perceive it this way because we are like this. It's kind of impossible to answer, I think. But for us, it's not make difference. It's like what was first, real world or our idea, kind of, right? But anyway, it's in our head, and this is why I talking about this, because when you go, like you are an astronaut in a space, right? So it's like just you kind of like, whoa, floating in a space. So there is nothing normal, kind of. Your brain is absolutely like freaked out, like say like there's no ground. I cannot stay on anything. There is no horizon line, no mountains, no water, no sky, no ground. It's just floating kind of in a space. So what if something like appear, like we have like a moon here, right? So where is it? You will start to have like, okay, like there's some kind of distance between me and moon. So this, you can make it like some kind of like z-axis, so it's like depth, distance, right? So then you say like, okay, when I look on the moon, so I have this direction of my vision, of my attention. Then I say, so here will be my back. So then will be, this is left from on the right. And here will be like top and the bottom. You just cannot escape from it. It will be, it's happen automatically in your mind. So you got perspective because this is how you build. Because you're kind of perspective creature. No. So, or also you can in the same time, so it's a sphere inside cube, because it's simultaneously it's a cube and a sphere. Sphere just more specific because sphere will have this like angles, like not just left and right. It's have like degrees, like how much, like mix of like 45 angle or 62 angle, kind of this. So, and then say like, okay, how about all these pictures with have like spaceships and a lot of stuff. Yeah, so you start just organize everything according to your perspective. So you say, okay, so here is how I see, how I experience this space. And then say like, oh, here it's a spaceship, and here another spaceship, and here I have something like on the foreground, like my spaceship. Maybe here I have like cable connecting me to it. So you see, space here is not because there is ground or horizon line. There's no ground. Now I can add some planet. So like, oh, here is a planet, and here is another planet, and here we have this still there. And what is this? What is this planet? This planet is just like another box, right? So it's like box and a sphere within box. So you can draw it as box or you can draw it as sphere. It just sometimes depend on your ratio, a comparison of your size to this sphere, and the comparison of a frame, right? We can just take frame like here, so we see only part of planet, and here you're flying, your character flying very small here. But still you should be able to understand um, how to build this sphere in perspective, like any other ball, like apple or whatever, so you need to have this practice. So this, you see, power kind of artist imagination. It's based on a clear understanding kind of this grammar, or like forms, how space and forms is works. So I hope it's clear, and here we'll make some more example. let's say here my favorite manga, Blame, right? So there's a story about one guy, he walking like in the surreal spaces. So here's like crazy, very interesting, surreal, like endless spaces. So it's like here, he is somewhere, so we cannot see how far it goes. It's just go like forever, kind of far away, and we cannot see how high, where is sky, where is ground. So he walking here, or goes there. It's like crazy space. So walking over houses, details, some trash. Then here is like he walking and he like here he walks this bridge, then he discover this kind of construction where it's like thousands of levels. So you can walk on the stairs or take elevator here or climb somehow, and you cannot see like how high it goes and how far below it goes. It's just insane scale kind of this. And this kind of called mega structure because there is like in the story of this manga, there's like crazy AI, like AI lost control, and it's just robots start to build cities like without any human control, and there's totally lost any control because lost connection to center, lost connection between each other. So it's like millions of robots keep building, and it's like they're building it, so it became like crazy size and like crazy structures, crazy construction. So you see it's like stairs here, and then it's these towers kind of. So there's like cities or whatever, like some crazy stuff. So, and it's like for many chapters you explore all this surreal structure with the character walking around. And then in one point, they kind of like reveal to you that this mega structure is like bigger than solar system. So it's so big that it's kind of became a Dyson sphere. So it's like, look, so here they take this piece, right? So it's like probable size of this thing in general, then within it have this core. So this core is this huge structure with like metal, concrete, and all this cables and robots. And within this structure, if we look inside, so here we have solar system with the sun in the center. There's like Earth and other planets. So it's just absorb everything around. So it's like crazy huge. So you see like main hero, he was just walking like super small piece of this construction. So my point is like turns out he was in the space whole time. Because this all this environment don't have ground. It was just kind of structure in a space somewhere between planets, like nobody know where exactly. It's kind of that's it, right? So this is what you need to realize. Perspective is not about water line. It's not about like oh, horizon line is somewhere in the ocean. No, it's in your head. It's your eye level, basically. So we'll kind of like explain one more time, like maybe yeah, make sure it's clear. So it's horizon line. Why we see it is a water surface, because we actually see not it's not about water surface, it's about biggest surface we perceive. So if like when it's a planet and we're like super small kind of ant on that planet, so we even cannot see curvature of it, right? So if we zoom in, like we're so small, so the surface of a planet perceived as a flat kind of, right? Like very long, and it's so big, so our visual perception cannot see where its curves, or if we stand on somewhere like a spaceship, we will just not see where it ends in front or in the back or in the left or in the right. It's like goes farther than our visual field or than our eye can catch. So when it goes farther like that, it diminishes on horizon on our eye level. It diminishes into our vanishing points, and it perceives as a horizon line. So a horizon line, it's like whatever surface which is go outside of our field of view. But when we don't have this kind of huge surface, when it's like many small surfaces, right? So we can see where is begin, where is end, where is light, right, left side. We don't have actually horizon line, but we have eye level, and we still have all this system. We have all this XYZ. So basically, if you understand perspective principles, so it means like if you know all these perspective types, you just apply these perspective principles no matter where observer is. And whole thing is about relationship between this subjective, let's say, make it box, right, for clarity. So it's your subjective space, it's your subjective perspective. And then here is some object like this, let's say, other object, right? So you not parallel to each other, you're not aligned to each other. So you can say, okay, if like this is my feeling of horizontal, this one, right? This is my feeling of horizontal. So according to my feeling of horizontal, this object is rotated on the left. So it's like little rotated on the left. And also compared to plane, my front and back plane, I can say this object kind of not parallel to my front and the back. So it's like a side view, let's say. So this is my kind of subjective space kind of, right? And this object, he kind of rotated into this angle. So it's like, for me, it perceives like it's rotated 45 degree. You see what I mean? So I can say it's like, how to say? It's like if it's big, something bigger, right? I will say I fly over this surface with a 45 angle. So we change priority. When it's some object, I say, oh, it's rotated according to my view. When it's some huge thing like a surface of planet or it's like huge mega structure, I will say it's me. It's a camera angle. Or like write me in the chat if it's teach you something. I think it's very insightful. Should be very good. So you just need to see this relationship. So we have your subjective space, and we have some objective, like objects or like big area, right? And when it's a relationship about our space with some, like our personal perception with the object, we say this object rotated according our perception. When we have something we perceive as like bigger than us, we perceive as like something like is bigger than our perceptions or our field of view, we say our perception is kind of like related to it. So we have like, we're not looking straight, we have like an angle, like I will show you some examples. So hello Matthew. So let's see some examples. Yeah, so it's like second part of this tutorial. So you see what happened here. It's just, first of all, see it as a type of perspective, and this will make everything clear. Так, yo, Carlos, hello. So what kind of type of perspective here? It's we have y-axis. It's just parallel like this. You see here, it show us x-axis also is just parallel lines, right? So I can make like perspective grid like this. And this kind of frame, like in my video about like camera angles, like and Akira, Ghost in a Shell, or Patlabor, I was talking about this. This kind of frame is shoulder level. So we have eye level, this like eye level on this guy's shoulder. So if we make vanishing point, like we have here, this guys, they have some diminution here, right? Like, so maybe it will be here. So this is perspective here. And why is perspective here? It's a perception of space of observer. So some camera flying here, or some another like third guy, other astronaut looking at this. So and this how he perceive it. So remember this kind of elements of perspective. We have observer, we have space, and we have this like objects. So same here. It's kind of just like very. So okay, let's draw like a bird view. So we have this y-axis. It's kind of little converging like this. Then x-axis like this. And z-axis. Let me see. Maybe this can be like eye level. Maybe this eye level here. Quality not so good, so hard to see. But it can be. So then we can have like vanishing point here. So this will be the vanishing point. So this is perspective grid. So with this grid, I can draw this kind of view in a space. So I can like draw this station. So you see what is station here. It's a boxes. And tubes, right? So have this cylinders kind of. Voice disappears somewhere. This like a box and cylinders. You need this grid to be able to draw objects. And here, look, this is a overhead. So if you look again at my tutorial about what Butler board here and Ghost in the Shell. So this you see is nadir. So this Y vanishing point below nadir. So we have this vertical axis. And then here you see this, it's our Z axis. And this one, it's X axis. So it's like I showed before, this typical perspective grid. Typical perspective grid for this type of shot, overhead. That's why you need to practice this shots, because you see how universal they are. It's like a language, you know, you learn how to speak and then you can say a lot of stuff. You can say something smart, you can say something stupid. So here, look, this, it's like I call this type security camera angle, because perspective grid. So this is RZ. So we don't see vanishing point here, it's outside of frame. We see convergent. Then here is a Y. Same, we don't see nadir. We see this convergent kind of towards vanishing point outside picture frame. And X axis. X axis. So you see, right, like here, how you can build this ISS space station. Same like we have pipes. And stuff like that. And you can add, you can like say like, here's like Elon Musk rocket approaching. This is Jane Bone Arts to ground control. And there's like some, you have perspective grid now. You have a power. I got a power. And here come add some like somebody flying. Because like I say, perspective grids, it's a space. If you know how to draw perspective grids, you can establish space, and within this space you can place any objects, you can place environment. So here you see what's the problem with this rocket. Because I didn't draw ellipse properly in perspective, so rocket ellipse will be like that, and this perspective, right? So have this curvature. And we can like here, or another kind of thing. And I can make ellipse here, and I can make more ellipses here. Whatever, I don't know. Yeah, this video like about this astronaut in the ISS station who Elon Musk rescue. She looks Indian for me, right? So how is that for another guy saving people from a space? Так. So here we have this kind of frame. Again, this kind of in a space, right? We don't have horizon line. We don't have horizon. Uh, we don't have ground or sky, right? But we have box. And this kind of perspective grid here, it's eye level. So we have here like eye level of a observer. It's on the same eye level of a character. And we have the z vanishing point here, right? Let's see. And obviously we have this y-axis and x-axis. Yeah. So while creative people, engineer, save people from space, crazy commies burning vehicles and screaming like crazy. So what do you do?
I say what I mean, and I do what I say.
What do you do? Crazy commie. So yeah, let's look this one. Again, you see? Yeah, Derek, hello. What do you see here? What do you see? You see this shape, right? This shape like we see from bottom, right? So it's like you see bottom part of it. So it means it's above your eye level. So it's kind of clue. It's a clues for you. Then we look other shapes. So how do you see other shapes? Say okay. It's like this shape also we see from bottom. This kind of maybe like a little from bottom. This one definitely we just see it as on our level. So we can say, okay, this shape gives us clue that this is our eye level. So let's make it bigger. So kind of looking on the clues, I'd say, okay, this is kind of like eye level somewhere here. And we see like how often they in this kind of scenes they have like very clear simple perspective. Like how all them radiating here. So this is our eye level. And then we can see like, okay, but how about y like vertical lines and x lines, right? Like I say, you know, it's all this vertical, horizontal, and all other kind of lines. This 3 dimensions, kind of, right? You, it's not much like there. You don't look it there. You look it in your vocabulary. So you think like, okay, what kind of perspective grid? What kind of type of perspective it might be? And again, you can look for clues. And here it's not very clear. You can make it curvilinear, or you can make it like three vanishing point. It's can be variations here. So definitely this one will be like a vertical line here. So it can be like this, or you can make it like this. And then, so if you have this kind of curvilinear perspective, then x-axis also will be curvilinear. Shaking in my hands. Axis. Right, so it's like x. So, and you see again, like this 3 dimensions make me able to draw anything I want. So I can make any shape here. It's like some flying car. Whatever. And or like an astronaut here. Like a Conan barbarian. It's like in the space fighting aliens. Get to the chopper. Everybody to the chopper right now. Aye, aye. So it'll be like super um, like mix of many stories together. So now you see it here, right? So this type of shot, like a bird view, it's a bird in a space, bird view in a space. So we have this like X, and again, you see, I don't have much clues for y-axis, but I already can predict it very much. Again, because it's just a lot of practice. If you do this practice, which I recommend you, like I tell in previous tutorials, like watch my Ghost in the Shell or Patlabor video talking about camera angles, and I give you this 10 most common camera angles, and like every week draws at least every week, better every day, just draw 10 pictures with these 10 different angles, just random pictures, practicing these angles, and you will have like really useful knowledge or perspective, so it can be kind of this. Maybe I can like adjust if I see it's little wrong here, so we have like shapes here, can be like a chocolate bars. Yeah, Starship Troopers. Kind of like I hate the story, stupid, but uh, space battle here, they really done it well. It's like obsolete special effects, but frames really cool. Can learn a lot. Like especially, let's say, yeah, here, like when they have this one destruction of ships. It look really cool for comic book, like a ship break down in half. We have these like levels within ship, like people jumping outside. It's like, and we have like POV from other ship. It's kind of great. I don't know what's better scene in about this spaceship battle. So here it's from Avatar. It's like what we have here. So you can also see perspective. So again, you see, because we don't have kind of like big dominant space which will dictate you kind of this surface level, right? So we cannot say like our camera tilted or not tilted because we don't have dominant space. So I can make it tilted, or I can make it like all these ships, they're tilted according to my stride camera. It's kind of, you see what I mean? It's like, it's a relative. Here you don't have dominant space, so you call it whatever you want. So let's say I will do it like if camera is tilted. So this will be like my x-axis tilted this way. And here, very interesting clue on this example. It's how these ships, like we have these four ships located in a space, they're parallel to each other, obviously, right? So, and they're making ellipse. You see? So this kind of these ships, they're making kind of ellipse. So, and this what I say when in this case, like when you can find eye level by degree of ellipse. So you see, it's like if we have ellipse, when ellipse is like this, we say it's far from eye level. When ellipse like this, it's very close. And when ellipse like this, he exactly on your eye level. So you don't see it as ellipse anymore, you just see it's like a line, right? So this ellipse very close. So I would say it's kind of like here will be eye level. And we can guess, but somewhere in this area, eye level. So then you see like what kind of perspective grid is here. So again, according to ellipse, I can make it like central point of my perspective grid. So here will be this y-axis perpendicular to eye level. So it's 90 degree here, right? So then I can make also this z vanishing point. So we have this z vanishing point. We have more verticals. You see like how this vertical here, vertical there, and more x. So here you go, this is your perspective for this picture. So, так, perspective for this picture. So I can show Cameron who is the boss here. Here are other interesting, also kind of like a typical conventional like trope point of view, trope frame. It's typical kind of frame anyway, composition. Yeah, it's we have like a Earth or some planet in a very kind of scary situation because there's some space, like huge spaceship moving to it. So we see like spaceship, all this structure, like a frame. It's like a big whale want to swallow this planet, right? So, and what is the perspective here? Okay, it's like the vanishing point right on the planet here. So we see this the and because it's like a radial kind of structure here, so I don't think even it's necessary to draw perspective grid like vertical and horizontal. You can just like you just draw this structure with this um, x axis, this part with this x axis. Maybe it's go longer here. Then here is like a radial. Then here we have this kind of, and like because you're able to draw box in perspective, right? So when you have z and x, you can find this y like a third dimension. So here, if this z go here, right? This x go here. So third will be like for this part, it will be like this. So I can draw. This will be my y kind of for this like third dimension for this grid. For this grid, it will be this direction. For this grid, it will be kind of this direction. You see what I mean? Write me in the comment. So perspective, it's about using your brain. And when artists telling me like they hate perspective or they don't want to learn perspective, it's like they tell like I don't want to use my brain. It's like it's pity. It's very sad because like it may lead you to a situation where you start like like break all your clothes, stop to wash, start to running around, jumping like a monkey. It's a danger. Better use your brain. Train your brain. So here again, right? We have a lot of clues here, and like first of all, yeah, it's with the ellipses. Write me in the chat if you recognize from which movie is this. So you see, we can have degree, but it's like we have ratio of a minor axis and the major axis, right? So by this ratio, like again, we can say where is axis. In this case, I will call it, again, you see, because we don't have dominant space, I can call this axis y-axis, or I can call it uh, x-axis. But here I will call it y-axis, so it will be vertical line. So if you see, if like this, when this ship or whatever is this move closer to here, to this y-axis, ellipse will become more narrow, more like this. So then let's go here and we start to see it that way. And we start to see it that way. And now it's here, you see? So even like we have second ellipse here, and I can add one more ellipse here. It's kind of relation we have in perspective in a space. So based on ellipse, I find this y-axis. Then here we have convergence. You say like, okay, this will be my z vanishing point, so I can make more lines for this grid. So then I can make more this continue kind of sy. And also you see this give us x direction, right? So let's make x. So yeah, if horizon line, yeah, it will be kind of here, somewhere here. So you see, you can draw whatever you want when you now have idea, you have clear idea of this grid, so you can modify this shape. We can add some more stuff. It will be in this perspective of this frame. Can add like astronaut. With a backpack. And he have like sleeping mat. This kind of stuff. Like Uzi. Так. And this movie it's of Valerian. It's kind of another communist sci-fi. Here is interesting. Like we have like middle plan, or it's kind of close plan anyway. So here we even can see like people. So it's like a cockpit and the people walking here. So look, we're in a space. So here it's more easy because we have like very clear clue with this direction. So this is like yeah, kind of like a bird view kind of perspective grid. So y-axis will be like this. You can look where is, yeah, actually like horizon line, like or eye level in this case would be more appropriate to say. Actually, it should be somewhere here maybe. Or, yeah, so then I can adjust. This will be not so strong. Anyway, so no, I think horizon line that's outside. Eye level outside. Anyway, so here x axis. If we're looking at the ships, it's kind of here. And we look in this edge here. So typical perspective grid of a bird view. And then, so this is like slanted surface, like this. And then it's also like shaped a little bit. And then we have here like ellipse and blah blah blah. And let's go here. And this kind of like box of this ship, box of that ship. So planet here is just like a baseball, like a very big baseball flying on background. So if you want, you can slice it. So maybe like I want, because you see here I have a grid, right? So now in this grid I can see what kind of degree of ellipse will be in this perspective grid. So it's this kind of degree. So I can like, so okay, we have like sliced planet here. Like a watermelon. It's like, take a couple more examples. So this also Starship Troopers. Can you see all this confusing like artists who have bad knowledge and perspective? If you have good knowledge, it's not confusing. So this Z axis, right? This, you see, it's a Y axis. Here is not 3-point perspective, it's just like 2-point perspective. And this X axis, that's it. So we have convergence, only can see like where is eye level. Is eye level here? Yeah, maybe this. It might be like here. It's like quality of picture not so good, so it's like так. So eye level here, then X convergent this way. You see, right? So now you can draw some extra stuff, like we have approaching small spaceship here. So wings. Spaces ground control to major time. And here some robots walking. It's like, wait a second, this is not our ship. Open fire. Open fire. So you see, it's like when you understand how to make space, it's not only, change your perception. It's not about being a good boy, being a good student, and do things right. No, it's about having like better, like play on another level. So when you're able to make space, now it's like you are making real thing. Now you make real space, and now you can place something in this space, right? Because for me, it's literally feels like I put some objects, like I'm building environment, so I can place, like I have surface here in a space, like some kind of 3D editor, like it was like level editor in a computer game. So I can put some box here. It's more fun when you understand and how it works. I can put box, I can put some more robots in perspective. They're walking here. For me, they're real. For me, there's like in a real space, walking like that. And one I sit here, like another robot sitting here. So like what happened? I just want to select here. Why is so much noise? No, here is one eye level. It's kind of more properly call it eye level because we don't have horizon here because there's no ground, right? So, and you see with this perspective grid, like this moon surface on the background is just like very, very huge ball. So actually, like I can see curvature of it. I don't know, like, can you see it? I see it present, right? So if you want, you can make a grid for this too, right? So just like for a moon surface, you can exaggerate it. So if you can, like, this example of kind of how you can steal composition, steal idea. So we can take this, but you make adjustment, you make it clear, so you can make like curvature like more visible. Like let's say like if I do like moon curvature like this. So it's like perspective grid for moon surface. It's like I'm ignoring this spaceship here. I just kind of make moon surface. And maybe in my picture, I want to show there's something on the surface. Like, I don't know, like kind of mega structure, something. Like, or it's like in this movie, maybe there will be like elevator, space, space elevator. So, or we can like make a river there or whatever. So again, you see, it's like when you can make clearly space, and you can establish all this like environment properties clearly, like a surface of different objects, surface of different big areas. Yeah. So same here. It's not super obvious, right? So it's like a z vanishing point. This is clearly eye level here. It's just my hand shaking. Okay. This. So that's the vanishing point. This conversion. then yeah, you can make. It's not clear here if this y-axis is just straight lines or curved. Let's make it curved. So this will be y-axis, and in this type of perspective, when we have curved y-axis like this, usually you will make curved x-axis too. It's not necessary. You can do whatever you want sometimes, so you can like make a wrong perspective grid. It will be like not so much like a mistake. It may be your creative decision. So maybe you say like, oh, I want to make x straight and y curved. So just again, like I show you, you need to understand principles. When you understand principles, you see this variety or like flexibility. Oh, and again, yeah, so it's like all this is like a bird view. So here we see the z-axis. So okay, so this will be like the vanishing point. So I can make perspective right here. Then you see, let's take, yeah, we have here clue, we have here clue. So this suggests us x-axis. Just my hands shaking. Axis. And vertical. Again, we have clue. Okay, look where. If like in this shape, it shows vertical. It's kind of 3-point perspective, kind of. Y-axis is convergent downwards, like this. So it's like downshot in a space. And it's not about planet, because you see like this the vanishing point. It shows like this is eye level. It's here. It's kind of like on the edge of a frame, and this planet is just some huge sphere flying there. It's like a huge basketball. That's it. And this ship have like little different perspective, like have different vanishing point. It's here. So this kind of box of this ship. Take this one. I think it's clear. Another like bird view. Just big size. So here we have this clue, right? So it's like our y-axis. So then that's it. It's like I don't have much y-axis here. So it's up to me. I can just choose from my memory, from my library of perspective types. I say, okay, let it be like this. Like downshot, y-axis converging like this. Then let's see. Let's take like this. It will be z. Z-axis. So we don't have eye level here in the frame. Eye level outside of frame, above kind of frame. So we don't see vanishing points. And this X, same again, I just like do build perspective grid based on my knowledge of perspective grids. I just say like, okay, this kind of perspective grid is fit for this picture here, for this frame. And that's it. So now we have like, let's see, one big ship in this perspective. Then this one, they're like in a random placement. They're like rotated, scattered. And again, would give us the ability to draw this like Conan barbarian in a space. Where is my chopper? Where chopper? And he's like cut spaceships, slice them on half. Okay, last two examples. So you see now how all this works. They all very simple perspective. It's just confusing because everybody has this like um, idea that perspective it exists somewhere outside. It's like you're walking around and there is perspective growing on the trees, and there is horizon line somewhere. When in reality it's all in your head. In your head. Okay, let's here. So this is our z-axis, right? So this obviously our eye level. And then you see again this clues with the ellipse. Ellipse here, so it's a little further, it's a little more open. Yeah, Schwarzenegger tutorials. And you need to like practice his voice. Take a circle. So it can be like this, or I think it's like very simple one point perspective is just like this. Those damn vanishing points. Ay, 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 ay. And this one interesting, like a weird example, but it's kind of I think it's a good example actually. Let's anyone know what movie is this? From where this picture? Later I will tell you. Ugh, try to guess. So here we have like this shape. It's kind of a weird shape, but again, you see, like I can say, and I think you also can say, it's like this is back side and this is top side of ship. Like here, it's like kind of this. It's not like extremely precise, but this kind of what is box logic about. You just look, say like, okay, where's front side, top side? Let's say side. No, not the popular. But this ship is like this. Yeah, this Dune, David Lynch, I think, right? Yeah, David Lynch Dune. So we kind of like have here two major objects, in a different position, kind of, right? So I need to kind of think. So it's like it seems like perspective of this ship actually is kind of perspective of observer. So if I continue something like this, so maybe about here will be the vanishing point. No, not here. Higher, kind of here. Let's do here. So this will be the vanishing point. It's kind of eye level. So you see, I can make a grid now. So this will be Z, this will be X, and this will be Y. So this grid and this ship is just like rotated according to observer. Hmm. Yeah, because I think here was Möbius was artist for this movie. But actually, I think in same time we can do like this. We can take this shape for kind of for our point kind of attention. I will say like, okay, this is my eye level. So this kind of y-axis, this x-axis, and how about one z-axis? No, no, sorry. Eye level, I don't know why I say it's here. Seems I'm crazy artist eventually. So it's kind of the vanishing point. So eye level is here. If I want to choose this kind of way. So here I have so it's like second kind of perspective grid I can do for this picture. So you see, it's like I say, it's relative because it's in a space. We don't have a major surface. We don't have like a dominant space. It's just like very subjective space. And here it's like in a confusing way, we have like two dominant objects. So you can make like say like, oh, this is like my main object, and this one he's like secondary, so he is not into main perspective grid. Or you can do opposite, and both will be work. It's like interesting case. While other examples and from other movies, from other scenes, you see they're very simple. They all very simple perspective. Always. Так, can make some madness break, and I will draw some demonstrations.
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.
Madness in space. Dun, 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 dun. Madness in space. Так. Okay, let's take this one. It's just funny, kind of surreal. So it's just like one thing I want to deliver, kind of convince students all the time, is that like more literate you are, more you kind of know of principles, then is better for your imagination, for your creativity. Because lack of knowledge make you very stiff, and you will stuck to some common patterns. Because like without knowing like what principles lie beneath these patterns, what rules beneath, mechanic kind of, right, within all this creative work, you will only able to copy it and repeat. So here we have this like z vanishing point, then it's like here will be like z, sorry, this is y, this is nadir, this is vanishing point on the bottom, y. So it's like x go in there, or z go in there, and x go in there, right? So we have this like stairs with frames and perspective. So it's like classical overhead view. So also like if you want to make your interesting ideas, composition and stuff, is you need to learn visual language. So it's mean like you need to learn conventions. Like what is a typical frames, typical like tropes, visual tropes. So here we have dude walking down. And what I want to do, I want to exaggerate curvature of a planet surface because it's my drawing, right? So I want to make things more clear and more impactful, maybe. I don't know. So I will do like curvature of a planet, let's say like this, right? So it's like this way he even looks like even more farther. So here, stairs. Oh, he even have like, it's like a parachute backpack. So this thing is on a straight perspective, while planet is curved. So I don't know, let's draw some clouds. Then a river. You cannot see it's so big river here. Not sure. Just improvising. And there look mountains, etc. Let's make it in a grid. Maybe it's like protective shield over planet. Flying satellites with the lasers. Так. Well, okay, yeah, then let's do this. Space station. So, watch my Patlabor Ghost in the Shell perspective breakdown about camera angles. So here this is perspective angle, full perspective grids here. And we just control whatever you want. So it's like boxes, cylinders. And then we have Earth here. Planet Earth. Jane Bonaparte to ground control. And same like if I need, I can show curvature kind of a planet surface. Так. This one. So here also interesting, funny moment. It's like in this frame, it's eye level perspective, eye level type of frame, type of shot, or type of camera angle. And here already it's a slight high angle because vanishing point over her head. Even just because she like tilted, leaning to side, but still now she slightly below my eye level, slightly below camera level. So it became like slight high angle.
Madness.
Oh, no madness. Access locker is eye level. So behind this space station, behind this wall, there is no horizon line. It's all in a space. It's just eye level here. And you can see it's like slight convergence of vertical axis and x-axis just go like this. I feel like cyberpunk is very cool references of these space stations. You can find a lot of photograph. Like they do a lot of like high resolution reports, and you see there's mass cables, all this sci-fi stuff. Так, let's take some. This one. Так. So here, have like a very low eye level frame, and the vanishing point about here. And let's make curved y-axis, x-axis. So first you can just like drop them like this, then can add some 3D quality. So like see from bottom, let's go like that. And planet here actually should be not related to perspective, but my grid actually kind of match to planet here. So it doesn't mean like planet surface is horizon line. No. Here is no horizon line here. Here, instead of horizon line, we only have eye level of a viewer, like camera level. It's kind of weird. Shape that from here. Uh, mm, let's see. This one. So here this like almost like isometry. Another bird view. So, yeah, I think this will be eye level here. This is you. And no, this will be X. And this will be the vanishing point. Yeah. And y will be like this. So here's this ship. First, just like placement and scale. So we have 3 ship and small ship here. Let's do like this. And then I kind of apply this box quality to each ship. Can do like long way, like Scott Robertson, drawing this like cross sections for each ship, but it's like too long. So just like keeping perspective grid in mind and drawing. It's like complex form. So again, here, planet just on its own. Or it's like huge watermelon, which is also in perspective of my perspective grid. Then to the chopper. And that's one last one. Which to do? Let's do this avatar. Little unconventional. So, like I say here, trick is with the ellipse. So, and here I do is like eye level, it's here tilted, and y-axis here, and the vanishing point here. So this more y vertical axis here, and x like this. So what we have this four ships converging with elliptical with this kind of curvature movement. Uh, yeah. You're jumping in the trees. You have a stick, and you were so smart. You jumping on the trees. You eat grass. You're wonderful. You're a genius. I wanna be like you. Eat the grass and running with a naked ass. Avatar, avatar. What an amazing feeling to fly on a lizard, eating grass. and cockroaches for a breakfast. It's even crazier than Titanic. Так, so now stuff. So let's make them little more like my construction, because like again it's like quality not very clear here. And it's like these spaceships are very sophisticated, unconventional construction. So I will just make my version and also show how this perspective grid works. So while ships placed elliptical like this, but when their form following this vanishing point still. So it's kind of difference between um, object perspective and object placement. So they're like placed together like elliptically, like curved, oriented kind of curvilinearly according to each other. But their construction following this perspective grid. You see this y, this x, x, x. By the way, when I seen Avatar first time, I said like, oh, it's like very weird hippie homage on Gary Garrison book about Jason Dinalt. If write me in the comment if you read this book. I'm not sure how it's in English, but it's kind of like Wild Planet, something like this. So there's like story about like main hero. He is like talented gambler. He have some super sensation. He can like he always win in a casino. And one day some huge guy find him. He say he will protect him if he win casino. So they go to like Las Vegas planet where it's like have huge casino. So he say like, so this guy need money to buy a weapon for his planet, for his people. And so they need to make like jackpot, like I don't know how it's called, like when you win whole casino, so you're like bankrupt casino. And if this guy do it himself, of course, they will just kill him. So this guy say, I will protect you, we will safely run away from casino. So, and then they run away, and this main hero say like, anyway, I don't have anywhere to go now, because now he's the most wanted man in the universe, kind of like this casino mafia will find him anywhere. So he say like, oh, maybe I go with you to your planet, to this like warrior guy. Say, why you need so much weapon? What kind of war you have on your planet? And this guy say like, uh, it's not a war. It's like it's just a very danger planet, because on this planet, every creature, everything is against people. So it's like every grass, every animal, every bird, and there's like evolution pace is super fast. So they're like evolving. And like if this week some kind of uh, Tyrannosaurus attack your colony, then next week it's Godzilla. Like months later, it will be like double size Godzilla. You know, kind of what I mean. So it's like evolving constantly to become more and more danger, and kind of was a planet like completely antagonizing people and want to destroy people. So everybody on the planet, they like all people there, they're all like super warriors. They have a lot of weapons. They from early childhood they training. They were shooting very good. All this stuff. So Cameron, he totally based on this story. He still kind of this concept, but he turned it around, make it kind of LGBT propaganda, communist, socialist, uh, another kind of creepy sci-fi. So I was kind of disappointed. It's like, and then like recently, of course, I read some books about Cameron movies, like his interview when he explained about Terminator. You can find alternative like ending of Terminator 2 in internet. It's freaking weird. It's like it's really like I'm happy I never seen this before. Because like um, no, not okay, not like super weird, but it's spoiled. Yeah, it's make it like too much like a candy kind of movie. Like uh, this normal ending, it's like more realistic and like a little more philosophical, because we're not sure uh, will humanity survive or not, because a lot of there's a lot of evidence that's possible, like with Skynet or without Skynet, people just can destroy each other. Yeah. Anyway, like check out this finest book, Gary Garrison. It's really cool about this very hostile planet. Should be named something like this. Very cool book. And I think if Dune is about Afghanistan, then I think this book of Gary Garrison is about Israel. It's like how all green world against is real. So you see, art is always political. But not me, I'm not political. No, 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 no. No, here is only jokes and drawings. So thank you for watching. See you in next videos.
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.